This video is over the supersonic tow behind Carnival ride. This will include setup, takedown, staffing, and testing. All right, with this Carnival ride, this jack doesn't swivel out of the way very well. It hits the bar there. If you do it this way, it's gonna run into the truck. So we're gonna take this jack, just put the pin right back in it, just like that, and set it in the bed for transportation. The spare tire cannot ride inside the ride. It needs to be inside the truck bed. Also during transportation, go ahead and perform your walk around. Make sure this power cable right here, make sure that is sticking out, not dragging on the ground. Those aren't gonna go anywhere. Got my power cable. These are the 4 jacks in the transporting setting. You got 1, 2 on that other side, 3, and 4. Make sure you have those, otherwise it's gonna be really hard to set up without them. Make sure these are locked in, that this cannot flip out on you during transportation. Looks good there. Inside of here, this is the control box. This is completely fine to ride in here like this. We just wanna make sure we do have this before leaving the warehouse. Make sure your fence is strapped down. That's not going anywhere. All right, here's the other things I'm looking for. We have our supersonic accessory box. Has the cable and fence feed in there. We want that also to ride in the bed, not on the ride, including the staffing stool. All right, so first we gotta make sure when you arrive on site, you have a 35 by 35 area. On this setup over here, we're gonna have our entrance over here. Our backside and generators will be on this side. Once you know you're clear of obstructions up top, good round area, we can go ahead and disconnect from the truck. I'll take my jack out from the truck bed, reinstall it with the pin in the up position just like that, unhitch everything like normal. Now we're good to start raising it up. Make sure you unlock your ball, which for this one you'll just pull back like that. There we go, it dropped out. Since we're already back here, I'm gonna go ahead and get my spare and everything out of the truck bed. I'll just place it on the back side of the ride, out of the way. Always leave your spare and accessories on site in case you are not the driver picking it up, please. All right, now we're good to move the truck out the way. All right, inside the equipment box, there should be a little level right there. We'll go ahead and pull that out for now, because we'll need it here in a second. Next, what we're going to do is take the pin out of these jacks. All right, we're gonna take this R pin and clevis pin out from there. Then these jacks will slide right out. And these will now go into each corner. We'll insert the clevis pin back in, lock that down with the R pin. We'll go ahead and just make contact for now, and we'll do that on all 4 corners. And by the way, every single one of these jacks and jacks locations are numbered. So right here we have spot number 3 with jack number 3. It's the same thing on the other side. All right, now that we got all 4 jacks with a little bit of pressure on them, we can take off our tongue jack and our tow bar. So we'll lower this down, go ahead and take this back off. And for now, just store it right under the ride. Now we're gonna take our 2 stabilizer bars off. Always start with the one with the turnbuckle. And with this turnbuckle, we wanna loosen it. So what we're doing is we're pulling threads out. So if you watch right there, it's actually going to eat the threads, which is loosening this bar up. Now that this is loose, take out the R pin there. Go ahead and replace it. We got another one over here, which will do the same. Go ahead and swivel it out. Insert it back in. Slide that right under the ride. We'll do the same on the other one now. Go ahead and take this R pin, and this clevis pin is usually pretty tight, so just spin it loose, just place it there. Now on this, we want to make sure we take our 2-pin plug out there, and also our entire 7-pin will come off the tow bar also. We'll place it right under the ride, out of the way. If you have help, we can go ahead and do this. You'll have one person grab that end and one person grab this. We'll place it behind the ride, out of the way. Other way what we can do if you don't have a second person is if you're just solo, pull it out of there, and you can move it off by yourself, or you can just slide it right underneath. Try to go as far as you can. Get that out of the way, and now we're clear. Now we can go with our level that we got out earlier and get this ride completely level. With this ride, we do not have to lift the wheels up all the way off the ground. These tires can stay with contact. We just want to make sure our ride is level. This way, needs a few cranks up here. That looks good that way. Check it in a few spots. Let's come up this back side a little. All right, and we're good. Now we're gonna take our accessory box, take our control cable out. We need to get to our fence feet. This is now our next step that we're doing now is building the fence around in a big circle. Yep, there we go. Now after setting up your circle fencing, we're now going to install our hand guards for our steps and also set up our steps. These handrails are numbered on the bottom right there. So this one's number 2. Here's number 1. Those will go towards the front end of the trailer. 3 and 4 will go towards the back. Now what we have to do, see how those are locked in, the stairs won't flip out. What we gotta do, take this pin out, just lift that pin a little bit, and it'll swivel out. Go ahead and just for now, place that pin back in with this all the way up. Do the same to the other side. That way when it lowers, we don't want contact with the ground quite yet there. We want a little bit of free space there for when we install our handrails, which we have our 2 pins on it here. Take those off. Now if you get an angle right here, we have a number 1, which is exactly where that number 1 will go. We're gonna insert these in. Might have to shake it a little bit. Now if you do lower these down all the way and get those set right now, what will happen is the stair will be up a little bit and make this handrail really hard to put in. We'll go ahead and pin this in, which is the handrail. Might have to give it a little wiggle, just like that. Now that we have our stair, like our handrail in, take our pin out. We might have to lift a little to get to a hole. We'll insert them in. These pins also can be installed under it, not going through the hole, just like this. Through the hole right there. The stair does not have to be completely flat. It can be a little different as long as when you step on it, there's no bulge. All right, and test it. That's solid. Now on this back side, what I'll do is I'll take it completely out a little bit. Swivel it a little, kind of with my knee, hold it there, and then insert the pin Cool. At this point, all right, and we'll swivel it down now. Install all our handrails. I have number 4 over here, so I need this one. All right, now adjust the foot. That's not a good hole. What we'll do, lift a little and get under it there. That's okay, but it shouldn't be moving. Should be completely solid when I step on it. That's just because of my weight. All right, now we will take off our fence racks, all 3 of them. We have the 2 on this side and the 1 on the handrails on the other side. Loosen up this 19mm bolt, throw it all the way. Take the R pin out and then the clevis pin. And they are free to just pick right up. I always like to just slide them under the ride out of the way. When I do that, I will go ahead and reinstall my clevis and R pin back in so it can't be lost. And you'll do the same on all 3 sides. Same thing, except on this one, the bolt's on the back side. R-pin, clevis, just throw it under. Replace it back so it can't get lost. Now, what we'll do since we're already back here is we're going to take off our transportation locks. We have 2 bars. Spindle bar, turnbuckle here. We have our solid bar. When you're taking it off, you always do the turnbuckle first, just like when we did the tow bar up front. We're gonna take the threads out to loosen. Just do it by hand. Now it's loose, I can take the small pins out with the R pins. Just take them completely out and reinstall back into the turnbuckle. I'll go ahead and just set this down out of the way. Now that I have that one, this one should be loose, like it is. And again, go ahead and replace the pins right back in the same location so they can't be lost. Now this ride has free spin, so it should just be able to move, just like that. Now we need to set up our control box, which is right here. That's what it looks like inside. Typically, I like to run it on the inside. It just clips right onto the fence just like that. Real nice and smooth. I want it where people can still walk right through, but if this ride is spinning, the operator cannot get hit while operating it. Yellow control cable. And if you see right here, this is where we're gonna plug it in. On this cable, there's 2 different style side plugs, a male and female. So right there, that's a male, so we're gonna need the female side. Notch there. There's only one way this can install. Go ahead and install it just like that. This metal nut will screw right on. Now what I like to do is I like to go at least 1 wrap around this fence. That way this cannot get pulled out roughly and break any of the pins. Now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and run it under the ride. Try to limit the tripping hazard when you do this. Now what I'll do is give myself a little bit of slack here. I'll throw it under to the other side. Need to grit it from this side. Try to dry it off if you do get it wet. Now if we go over here, we have the giant hole right here. That's where we're gonna go ahead and get our cable through. And this will install into the panel right here. Go ahead and screw that all the way in. This right here is our circuit breaker box. Now that's real tight. We're good there. Now what we need to do is we need to put power to the ride. This right here is the power plug. What I'll do is during transportation, you always want it up top up here. When you're ready to set it up, we'll swivel this down and connect it under the ride instead. That way there's no cables running over the side here, and it's a clean flat surface during the rental. Now we need to set up our power cable. Go ahead and take it out. Usually it is wrapped up better than this. We will need our female side plug. And we'll plug it right in under the ride to the other side, just like that. All right, now we can go ahead and set up our power. Typically, we're gonna be running it with our newer Westinghouse 14.5s running wattage. Our Hondas are our old ones that we use for it. These 10,000s do run the ride, but the new Westinghouses run it much faster and much more efficient. On this Westinghouse, it'll just plug in right here to this main 50 amp plug, just like that. Now with the Honda, we do have to use a converter splitter, which is this one, green one right here, that's zip tied on. To turn on this generator with this one, we have our switch right here. That is power to the battery. Never leave that running on if you're not using the generator, otherwise you'll kill the battery and have to jump start it with the truck. After about 10 seconds, you'll just hold this start stop button for about 2 seconds. It will flash green like it is right now, and then it'll self-start. If it doesn't start the first time, it will try it a second time. Just like that, we have power. Always make sure that switch right there is on. All right, we're good to go. All right, if you don't see any of the lights running, so right now they're all off like this, our generator does have power because our main breaker switch on the generator is on. What you need to get into is this box here. If it's not unlocked right like it is now, what you can use is just the side of any key on the locks, just like this. You just twist to turn and twist to unlock. We'll open this up. Now inside this breaker box, we have our 4 main breakers here. If you see here that they all are showing green, that means there is no power to them. What we'll do is we'll flip them up, and now they're showing red. That means red means you're dead, which means it got power. We'll go ahead and close this up now. We're good. Now we have our lights, should have lights. We do have lights working now. So we now have power to the ride. All right, we're gonna go through a quick overview of this control box. Right here on our right side, we have emergency stop. That right there is engaged. To disengage it, is not press it again, it's the twist, and you'll see it pop out just like that. I'll do it again. Should just pop out like that. We have our 2 buttons right here, our red and our green. This is our main motor button. This is to turn the motor on and off. If we open up this panel here, this is our speed hydraulic controller. We have our on-off switch, and we have our speed dial. Now for the test run that we're gonna do now, make sure your switch is all the way off, your dial set to 0. We're gonna go over here, hold this green power switch button for about 2 seconds, and you'll hear the motor whir on, and you'll notice an instant hum that we know our motor has power and everything. So we're good there. An important thing to do to check your fencing and verification of your good setup is you'll just pull this by hand. Make sure there's plenty of room where if someone was to stand on the outside of the fencing and they were to reach over, they couldn't touch this at all. So go ahead and go through, do a full 360 with it. All right, I'm gonna set it right back to even, just like that. Look there, I forgot to put up my level. This I'll just put back inside the box. And this box during operation will just slide under the ride. We also have our staffing stool that I did forget about. This you'll just set right on the outside. And that is for our second staffer. Running test, make sure everything's working good and the motor's running well. We already have that motor on from earlier now. What we'll do is we'll turn our switch on. When you turn your switch on, always make sure your dial is at 0. Otherwise, you will jolt the motor and you have a chance of breaking equipment. So now what we'll do, turn it on, and you'll slowly turn the dial. And you'll see it when it catches a little. You'll see it catch and start moving just like that. and you'll slowly bring this dial all the way to 80%. That first spin around, always, whether you're staffing or doing a test run, you always want to check that these buttons are pressed out past this lock right here, because sometimes some staffers will leave it just like that, where it looks like it's locked, but it will swing open. Now with this ride, this door cannot hit anything on the ride, luckily, but we don't want any riders to be able to stick their foot out and get hurt. So always make sure you see that button on the end. Now continuing, I will set it to my 80% slowly. Now that we're at 80%, I'm gonna let it run for about 1.5 to 2 minutes. This is just to test the motor, make sure everything's running well, make sure our generator doesn't cut off when we put a full load on it. It's just our general test run when we're doing a delivery. Now that we know it's working well, we'll go ahead and slow our dial back down to 0, just like that. I will turn my main switch off and close it up. And now our test run, power-wise, is good. Now we're gonna go ahead and do our takedown portion of this video. If you see up here, we have chairs number 3 and 4 up here. Those are supposed to be on the back end of the ride during transportation. So if it is left like this by the staffers, just push it in a counterclockwise motion until you do have that number 1 and number 2 cart at the front. Just like that. Engage my emergency stop, and then I'll unloosen my cable up, take this off, and I'll go ahead and store this inside of one of the chairs. There we go. Close this up. Now on this back end, we're gonna move over here and we're going to reinstall our 2 locks. The first bar we always want to install with these locks is the one without the turnbuckle. So install it there. Put my R pin back in. Just like that. Install it there. You might have to move the ride a little by hand to get it in all the way. R pin in. Now we can do our turnbuckle. Do my bottom side first. Here we go. Slide this on. There we go. Now to tighten this down, what we want to do is we want to pull threads towards the center. Just needs to be hand tight. You might want to shake the ride a little bit, see if you can get some more out of it. Just like that. Now this ride is solid. That's not gonna move very much. That bounce is normal on the ride. It's not gonna move center-wise with these tight. Now that we're back here, I'll go ahead and take off the rest of my control cable. Unthread it from the side of the circuit box. Pass it through the bottom pass-through hole. And I'll wrap this up now. This here will go inside of our box, accessory box there. Leave that open for our fence feet later. I'll go ahead and unplug power cable. Make sure you pull it up from the ride here because we do not want this transporting hanging down with the ride. Now with our green power cable, we want to try to wrap it up real nice and neat. Now we have the strap here, which will actually go around and it'll just Velcro right on. So all I gotta do is pull by the handle now. One of our ride chairs in the bottom. See that? We do not want this. Just press it back in and that's completely fine to ride like that. Now we're gonna install back all of 3 of our fence racks. Take our pin, clevis pin out. Just sits right in. Clevis pin back in. R pin back in. Go ahead and just hand tight this 19mm bolt. Get the nut tight on it next too. Now it's not moving quite as bad. We'll go ahead and do our 2 on the other side now. All right, we got all 3 of those installed now. We're gonna put all of our fence back. Now with the fence, we wanna make sure they're all upside down when we put them on this rack. We always want to install our gates second from last on the fence rack. Also upside down. The reason we want to do this is when we put this last fence on, it's going to lock down all this gates to make sure they stay during transportation. Always make sure you put all your fence feet back inside of the equipment box. Put your cable on top, and it's good to go. Now we can go ahead and remove all of our handrails and install them back onto our storage rack on the back side of the ride. Remember to place all the pins back in. Now with the bungee cords, just make sure they're tight and there's no movement during transportation. And those, good to ride. What you can do, flip this right up. This side here, you'll have to unlock, bring it up, push it back down, and then install the pin under the purple bar, under this here. That way this can't raise up, so this has no way of coming out. On this side here, you always want to raise into the highest point. That is for when we put our tow bars and our support arms. This jack leg does not get in the way of that. We have a clear path to that there. All right, flip this up. They both fell out. It's fine. We'll just reinsert them back in. Lock them in. Always make sure your holes line up. There we go. Now our stairs put up. Make sure we take our R-pin and clevis pin out for this next thing, which is installing back our tow bar, support arms. There we go. Put our clevis pin in, R-pin in. Make sure we wire back up our 2-pin right here, the 2 wires. Install our 7-pin. Tow bar supports. Oh, that one's bent really bad. See if that doesn't line up. What we'll want to do is always hold on this end, then we can adjust with the turnbuckle. I'm going to pull it in a little bit. Always only turn by the turnbuckle like this. Don't turn it like this. Otherwise your threads, just like how it is looking right now, there's more on this side, less on here. We don't want that because what can happen eventually is there'll be all the threads here, nothing holding here. All right, we'll insert that. Put the R-pin in, and then we want to tighten it down. To tighten, we want to pull threads towards the center, and it's always just hand tight. There we go. Test it. Don't shake. Don't shake. We're good to go. Let's go ahead and reinstall our jack. It's okay if there's a little bit of space because we're going to lower them down now. Raise your jacks up. There we go. Take your R-pin, clevis pin out. Good to slide out now. You can reinstall back into the transportation bracket. You get it close, you can usually just push it enough. Goes for most of our Carnival rides, except Pirate Ship and Tornado. Now that I'm all fully hooked up, I want to do a double check. Make sure everything is all good and ready for transportation on the road. Now that I've performed my full walk around, I'm good to go back to the warehouse and get out for the day.